Yeah, we are live now. Good evening from Pennsylvania. So I have lovely business partners from all around the globe. Somebody from Canada, UK, USA, Australia. It's a global meet today, basically. So if you guys ever see our live before, you know that we are talking about an online business, right? So anybody who's looking for an extra stream of income and maybe wondering, is this for me? Or can I do this? I don't have any business experience. What will I do? Those kind of stuffs actually preventing a lot of people from grabbing this wonderful opportunity, right? So here we are actually sharing today our story. How is our background before we come in here, and how did this change our life, and why did we actually start looking for something different, and how did we grab this opportunity, overcoming all the fears and skepticism. So thank you so much for joining in me today, Akila, Simi, Anita, Thomas Chetan, Mini, and Seema. Thank you so much. So my first question is to Akila. Akila, can you please introduce yourself, and also please do let our audience know why did you take that decision to be a
Okay,
part of?
hi. Thank you, Sharon, and thank you, everyone. Thank you for everyone all over the globe. So, my name is Akila. I am from Canada, Edmonton. Now, I am in with my family, my two boys and husband. Because before I was in Toronto, so I have lot of my experience to share with you, but I will condense everything because lot of people are here to talk, so I cannot expand too much. So in short, I will tell my story. So when I was in Toronto, we are in Canada for about last 13 years. So we were in Toronto for 12 years. So we recently came to Edmonton and settled here. So when I was in Toronto, actually I was not able to go for work because my son have some he needs some support, like like communication issue. So he have to go for some behavioral therapies and everything. So now he is okay, so that's why I decided to go for some work. But even though I start searching for a job also, I decided to do something because actually I was an MBA graduate from back home, but I didn't upgrade my studies in that level, so I decided to do medical office administration. Then after doing that program also, I was little bit confused because it's very hard to get a job all of a sudden. So I searched everywhere, I go for the volunteer work and everything, and I decided to do some casual work. Before also I was too much confused about my my future, because when I was in Toronto we had a restaurant. So everybody, I know I have a lot of friends who are thinking to start about restaurant, eh? Then I will tell them, okay, don't go for starting restaurant. Restaurant is, I'm not telling restaurant business is bad, but even if you want to start a restaurant, you should be a chef at least. At least you should be a chef. That is the minimum qualification. I'm not telling the maximum, it's the minimum qualification. You should be a chef because there will be staff shortage. And so when staffs are not there, we have to be in the kitchen. And we don't have that much experience, right? And we will be in big trouble. The restaurant will get busy, and what will do? We don't have a chef experience. We have to appoint lot of people with minimum knowledge, and they will make a big mess to our restaurant. So that's why I'm telling, don't go for that, because when we invest lot of money and it will get loose, and we don't, and we are, even we get money also, we will not get time with our family. I know a lot of chefs now also. From I have two three friends, I asked them what your husband is doing. He's a chef. He's going early morning and coming in the 10 o'clock, 10:30. They cannot enjoy their kids because kids are waiting for them. They are sleeping in the midnight because it's a very hard time. I also faced that thing. And so that's why, after thinking about that, and the second thing is the rent. In the restaurant, every month you have to pay a minimum $5,000. I am telling, before, I think it was in 2022. At that time, we were paying $5,000 per month. Did you imagine that? Every month we are paying 5,000. So when I got an opportunity to come to the business, the first thing I thought was the rent. You know, there is a very minimum means very minimum investment in this business. Only this is a one-time investment, and it's very less than when you compare to your coffee, coffee money. Every month you are drinking coffee, right? It's very less than that. So I think, okay, When I saw an opportunity in the Facebook, when I asked to my coach, and she explained me everything, and she asked me to pay $149. First, I was little panic because oh my god, nowadays everyone is coming in front of the Facebook and telling, and the social, not only Facebook, in every social media, and telling, oh, this is really a good business, this is for you and you can do it. So I'm really confused. So I think, okay, I told them, okay, let me give some days, I will pay. After 2 3 days, I searched in the social media about my coach, and she was there for past 5 years in this business. So I realized, okay, a lot of groups she introduced me. I saw a lot of people like me. So I think, okay, this these all people can do, so then why I cannot do? Because I am a double failure in Toronto. Then why I cannot give a chance to me? Because sometimes opportunities will be a small, it will give a small chance to you. Don't skip it, because I decided, okay, it's $149, right? And it is totally refundable. So that's why I decided to go for this plan. If I didn't like that, and if I think that something is wrong or weird, I will get my refund, right? That's why I decided to see the plan. After seeing the plan, I realized, okay, this is a really good business. I have that confidence to do. That's why I started this business. And nowadays lot of people are asking me, okay, what is this business? Yesterday also one person calling and asking me, oh, what is this business, what are you doing? Then I ask him first question, okay, are you sincerely or are you seriously looking for a side hustle? He doesn't have an answer. Then I told him, this business is for the people who is seriously looking for a side hustle. This is not just like a joke. If this is not to try, this is to do the business. And then I asked him, he doesn't have any answer. Oh, no, no, I just asked you. I told, look, there are a lot of people in this business. They already came with full mind. They want to do this, and they are doing this, and they are succeeding in this business. So if you want to do like that, come to me, I will explain every detail to you. Then he said, okay, I will think about that. That's thing. So that's why I want to tell you everything, everybody. Don't come to just have a look on what are everybody. There are a lot of people who is asking everyone, okay, what is this business? What is this business? They will get only the same answer, because this is a legitimate. If you are very serious in your side hustle and you want a family time, you have a financial stability and time flexibility, and you want to grow, and it is not a quick to rich scheme, like today you come to this business, next month you will get $10,000. This is not a business like that, okay? It will take time. Every people have different experiences regarding the success and everything, so you have to wait. Some people coming in this business and making money within 2 3 weeks. Some people will take 2 months, some people will, it depends. We cannot promise anything, but it depends upon your effort, what, and consistency and patience. Okay, that's the advice I want to give to everyone. Okay, that's, I think I covered most of the things. Over to you, Sharon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Akila. So, as Akila already mentioned, like, when we think about a side hustle, many people we think, okay, we heard that, okay, when you have a passion, you do it as a career, right? But when you take a side hustle, don't just consider your passion, right? You may like cooking. That doesn't mean that you have to start a restaurant as a second job or second side hustle. Side hustle should be something convenient that will fit into your life, not something go against your family. You already heard like what Akila was talking about the restaurant business and how come they you can make money, you can become famous, you can become money, you can become really good, successful business owner. But at the end of the day, do you have any family time, right? The huge investment. So why are we, so that's something that we have to ask ourselves. Why are you actually starting a business? Do you just want money, or do you want time freedom and financial freedom together? So that's what we are offering. Thank you so much, Akila. So over to you, Simi. Simi, can you please introduce yourself? Actually, recently, somebody I think from Australia asked me like, Simi, oh, Sharon, this is too good to be true. So, along with your story, can you please explain that as well? Like, is it too good to be true? Please unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Sharon. I'm so glad that I was able to join today with you. Good morning from Australia. It's a rainy day here. My name is Simi. I am a nurse working in Australia, basically from South India. I live here with my husband and my single child. He's 7 years old. So, me and my small family are settled here. To be honest, if I talk about my journey, I never ever thought in my wildest dreams thought that I will end up doing an online business. I thought nursing was my call, and I thought that was the label I'll be having forever. Um, like all of us immigrants, I came to Australia with the dreams of building a good life here, enjoying the luxuries that life could offer, getting a house, getting settled, getting opportunities for my family and for myself, which I did over the years. Like I've been here for more than 10, 15 years now. And I was able to scale well in my profession as well. But one thing I never realized that in doing my job, I'm also giving up on a lot of things, and that is time. This realization did not come easy. Like it was not all of a sudden. 2 years back, I lost my dad. He was diagnosed with cancer, and there was a time when I was quite desperate that I could not go back home and spend time with him. And I think this is one issue which most of us immigrants will face when we have, aging parents back home in India, and wanting to go there and be with them. It is a pain that's going to live with me forever. That's when I realized the real importance of having that time freedom. If I had that financial security or something that I was building on the side, I could have easily gone and been with him in his last days, and that's it's never going to come back. That experience really hit me hard. When I lost him, I think I kind of lost myself too, because I fell into depression. I lost my confidence. I didn't have any more energy in me. Um, but and then when this online opportunity came, I wasn't sure. Like many of you, I thought this was a scam initially, because there's this ads running, a random stranger is coming telling about this opportunity, and you would think, oh, no way, this is something that's not real. But at one point, I just thought, okay, let me find out. There's nothing wrong in asking about it, right? And when I asked about it, what I was able to see was pretty shocking, because there is such a big, huge community of professionals, not just random people, of professionals from all across the world. And you can tell it is globally. If you see, we have so many people from all over the world sitting here right now. And our community is like more than 280K plus people in our group. So such a wide community doing this. And when you get entry into that community, you can see their journey, their timelines, the potential, how much they were able to scale. So all my questions, all my concerns, everything was addressed at the start, before even stepping into it and starting it, before even taking any risk. So I've never felt that I had such transparency, even before, even for my nursing. I didn't know how much what I was getting into until I got into it, right? Um, but for this business, I was able to see the full picture. What is it? How much time it will take? What is the effort that is needed? What is the support that I'm going to get? And I realized it's not like a luck thing. It is skill based. It is something that you can build, and it is definitely not a quick rich scheme. Like Akila said, it's not something that you start and you'll start getting money from next week onwards. But the potential, or that you can get it if you put in your effort, if you decide to learn and use your time wisely, and leverage social media. So yeah, I thought, okay, if I don't give it a go, I'm never going to find out. So that's why I stepped in. And I'm so glad that I did. Because every day there is not a day that actually I don't thank God that I have this with me. I have now that peace of mind that I can step away from my job if I need to. I have control over my time and my decisions. Like when you are going in an automated mode, like in an autopilot mode, you don't realize, right? The days are all merging in. Your life is actually working around your schedules, your rosters. You decide whether you can go for any doctor's appointment, you can attend your child's important school programs. You can decide everything, every single decision in your life, whether when to wake up, when to sleep, whether you get things done today or not. Everything usually, typically for a person, for an immigrant, depends around your work. Now, for me, I can clearly say my decisions, my life depends on my time and my choice. And I can step away from my work if I need to. It's not that I don't like nursing or I'm planning to quit nursing, but having that peace of mind and having that choice uh, is immense, and that's something that I've got, sharing like from this business. So it is too good to be true. That's my point. It is really too good to be true. But it is too good to be true because I worked for it, and because I believed in it, and because I tried it out. If you look from the outside, why would sometimes we're scared to get too much of good things too, right? We don't believe that we deserve it.
Yeah,
Sometimes we just feel, oh,
exactly.
stick to the normal. We shouldn't step out of our comfort.
Yeah,
Don't ask too much. You have a good income compared to a normal citizen. You're on the higher side of the scale. Why would you want more? Or, don't be greedy. That's what people tell you. Right?
yeah,
But it's not about greed. It's about having that freedom, having that flexibility, having that breathing space, and really knowing what is more meaningful in your life. Yes, money is important, but also having that time freedom to make choices and spend time with your loved ones. And that is what I chose. So, yes, that's what this business has given me. A too good to be true opportunity, but that is adding more meaning and blessing in my life.
yeah. Thank you so much, Simi. So, yeah, too good to be true, but it is true, right? Yeah. So the other day, I had an inquiry, and then before she actually looked into this platform, and she said that, okay, this is not for me, right? And then I meant to ask her, did you mean the early retirement is not for you? Did you mean more money not for you? Did you mean the ability to travel around the world is not for you? Did you mean having multiple properties not for you? What you said was right, Simi. Some many people are actually very much settled with what they have. Unless we have, even including me, I would say, when I was in a position in my life where I was thinking, oh, I'm not moving forward. I was really stuck. I can feel that stuck feeling. I already had masters, and I was already looking to go up in my career, and I see the, all the things that is related, the limitation. I saw the limitations already. That is only the time I was open. My mind was open. Before that, everything else was scam for me. Don't look into that. My brain was making me comfortable. Okay, you have a good job, be settled, you have a good house. Okay, that's enough. That kind of theory was around me until I I felt that, okay, I meant for something bigger. This is not just for me. When you have that need, you will take that risk. You will be open minded anyway, right? That helped me. As Remy already mentioned, I did not start this business because I don't like nursing. I always loved nursing. I was trying to give myself into the nursing, but then nursing didn't actually give me so much financial freedom I was able to come to US and I was able to go to Europe and all because of nursing. I'm so thankful for that. I was able to serve a lot of family. I was able to learn a lot of stuff, and I'm very thankful for that. But more than that, there was no freedom. You're always tight. Your life is decided by your manager. Your life is decided by someone else, right? And I even when I stepped into this platform, I never thought that I'm able to get away, walk away from my nursing career. You know, I never thought that this platform has this much potential until I got that first paycheck. That is when I felt like, okay, oh, I started believing in it. And then, as Simi and Akhila already mentioned, this is not a get rich quick scheme. Of course, I worked really hard for the last 5.5 years, and last year I completely quit my job. Let me ask you one thing. If you are a professional, a pharmacist, a physician, or a nurse, or HR, whatever you are doing, a realtor, whatever you are doing, right? How long, how hard you are working for how many years? And were you able to step away from your thing that you are doing right now? Can you? And can you guarantee yourself, okay, you get like maybe 5,000, say for example, 5,000 US dollar every month, right? As a salary for building someone else's dream. With you not having any equity. Tomorrow you don't have job and your income goes to zero. That's all exists. Still we don't open our eyes. Right? We don't have anything for ourselves. When we have a business, especially a business like this, which is very flexible, that you can do with your full-time job, slowly build in, and can leave a legacy for our family, with a pensionable business scheme. And why can't we just open our eyes and step into this, right? So thank you so much, Simi. Over to you, Anita. Can you please introduce yourself, and please do let our audience know how did you overcome that? Can I do it? Is it for me feeling?
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for the opportunity. As Sharon said, my name is Anita. I'm in Michigan. I'm working as a pharmacist for the last 15 plus years, and almost in the US for like 20 to 23 plus years now. So I'm here with my with my husband and with my 2 kids. And I have as, in the US, as you guys know, that pharmacist is a well-paid job. But sometimes, like money is not, it's not, up to some extent, money is everything. But after that, you have to have that time freedom, as all you said, Simi and Ahila said, we have to have that time freedom. We have to have that, time to spend with family and, the kids. And for me, the time with my schedule, the time is limited. That's the main thing that I look for something, to build along with my business. And as Simi said, we have like our old, parents are getting older. And last year I had to go to Kerala to stay with my dad because he had some emergency. So at that time I could able to stay only for like 2.5 months. So, but in the future, like my goal is like, if you need it, because they are getting older, my mom and dad getting older. So if they need support, because they live their life for us, so it's time for us to give them something in return. They're looking for nothing for money or anything, but they need our presence. So if we, that's my main goal, like to be with them if they need it. And also like when our kids growing up, like, like we are doing everything for them, but if you are not be present with them when they need it, there's nothing like, what we are living our life for, nothing. So these are the main, like, the reasons. And then, how long, as Sharon said, how long we will work like this, like for 65 years, 67 years. And then we are just working. We are not living our life, or we are not living, for ourselves. So that's why, like, that's the main reason that I step into, I was looking for something to build, along with my like job. And I was looking for something that goes along with my job, because, my schedule, with the, like it's kind of like, it's not a steady schedule. Like every other week it changes. So that's why I look for something that goes, well with my job. And when I heard about this, I was really lucky that I know that this business was not a scam, because I came to know about this business through my good friend. So I know that this is not a scam, but I was not a social media person, And I was, all we know that we are not like a tech savvy or anything. So I was looking into something that I can manage along with my job. So I can, build this slowly. And, and also I want to add one more thing. Like in this economy, the job, there is no security for any job. We don't know like whether we have a job the next day or not, because in retail pharmacy, all these industries, like, if they are not making money, like, they close their doors the next door, and we don't get any kind of like, heads up, hey, you have only worked for like 2 weeks or like the next day or something. So I want to build something like, if I, along with my job, so if something happened, for in the future, so we have that, safe security, like something that runs along with it, so we can move forward without any hesitation, or like we are, if something happens, then we have to like, start from the beginning. That's kind of hard. So if we have like something go slowly, running along with it, so it's easy for us to move forward. So then once I step into this business, I thought, okay, oh my God, social media, no way, I'm not going to do this. And then, but once I actually started it, we have like all this training, like video-based small training sections that they will teach you like how to do, the social media, the all the ad, or everything, like, advertisement and everything. They will teach you like step by step, like how to do all the steps, and then that give you like confidence and everything. So and then once I step in it, I said, okay, it's not that hard. I can move slowly, work along with my the full-time job, and then there you go, here I am. I never thought, okay, I will do like any kind of live or anything. So people who are listening to this is not like really like hard or anything, like if you have the mindset, we all look into like time freedom, to have time with your family and everything. So if you guys looking for something like a real side income that, goes along with your business, this is a good opportunity for you. Thank you, Sharon.
Muted. Sharon muted.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anita. So yeah, I mean, when you are saying about hard, that's what I want to say. Like, some people think that social media marketing is hard. We have to realize something, right? Everything in this life is hard. You come to new country and settle down from scratch. Was it not hard? You thought it is important to change your life, right? And your question is like, okay, you're saying that this is hard. Working until 65 years and having minimal pension, is that harder? Or just we are wasting hours and hours in social media, and we are learning something new to have a 5-figure income at your dispense. When you are retiring, you have something in your pocket. So which hard do you want? That's the question that we want to ask you. Okay. Thank you so much, Anita. And over to you, Thomas Yeta. Thomas Yeta, I know you are a senior and very respectful person in our community. And we just want to hear from you. Why don't you think that we were scammers? And what made you think that this is a real opportunity? And how did you step into this?
Thank you, Sharon. എൻ്റെ പേര് തോമസ് പോൾ. I am a realtor and CEO of Realty Diamond Group. I have 12 agents working with me. I am 75 years old now. There are 7 beautiful ladies are with me smiling at you from different parts of the world. So you are all happy, right? I want to tell you that I started in 1978 in a hospital. I came with a master's degree in accounting, but I couldn't get a job according to my studies. So I started in a hospital and working. No, I had to work morning, evening, night, different shifts. Then I started a variety store, and I had to be there 9 to 9, yeah, 6 days a week, and there was nobody to relieve me if I need. Sometimes my wife comes after her work. So these are all my problems before. But after starting real estate, I have some freedom, but still I have to be available when my buyers are available. Most of the time, they are available in the evening or on Saturday or Sunday. So I cannot spend my time with my family on weekends. So I find I was looking for something different along with my real estate. That's how I came to this digital business. And I'm doing that good for more than 2.5 years now. And I'm making money on that. I filed the tax with this money last year and the year before. So this is a legal business. There is nothing we are hiding. We are legal people. Akila from Canada, and others are from Australia and Ireland, and we are from USA. So I never saw another business like this from different parts of the world. And if I have a question in the night, I can put it in the system, and somebody from Australia is going to answer that. There's no competition in this business. That's the best thing I can tell you. In real estate, there's a lot of competition, especially in these days. Now, there is one realtor from one family in Pennsylvania. So we have a lot of competition in most of the business, even though it's like restaurant or grocery. If one Indian starts one business, two others will start the same business. So it is a lot of competition. So I can find this business without any competition. That's the best thing I can say. And in if you are in the even in the medical field, last year 300 employees were laid off from Jefferson Health System, and Microsoft is asking to leave their company in May with a package. If some of them are not leaving, they will lay off them. So there is no security in this business, in your job. But we have security as long as we are willing to work. That's the best thing in this business. I'm doing this along with my real estate as a side stream of income. You can also start with your current job as a side stream of income. And if you are working at least 7 8 hours minimum in this business, you can earn up to a 4 figure or 5 figure income, and you can retire. And another thing you can show, I was in India last year. I was doing this digital business from India. 2 weeks before, I was in Mexico. I was doing this digital business from while I was on vacation. I cannot do other job while I was on vacation. I couldn't leave my real estate more than a week before. Now I am free. I tell my agents I'll be leaving for 3 weeks. So I'm not that particular that I have to be in the office. I can do business from where I was. This is a business in a box. You can take it with you wherever you go. You can work day or night whenever you are free with your family. That's the best thing I can see from this. And also, I told before, you will get a very good training site. I never received any training in real estate before, or variety store, or anywhere I did the business before. But in this our business, there's a very good training site that will make you good in your business and get a good support. Those who are interested, please contact any of us and you will succeed. Thank you, Sharin.
Thank you so much, Rita. So, like anybody said, anybody who's thinking that some people are actually starting this business, even thinking that, okay, maybe it's a scam, let me see. Okay. After they come in and they see that, okay, my perspective has changed completely when I see the training site, when I see the resources out there, and when I saw I am a part of something really big. That is when their perspective change. So you are right, Cheta. Not other business will have this kind of support, this kind of training site, this kind of mentorship program. But here we have everything in this platform to make you successful. The only variable is you, if you are willing to be consistent and work hard behind it. Thank you so much, Cheta. Over to you, Sini. Sini, can you please tell our audience your why and how did you overcome your fears?
Hi to all. Thank you, Sharon. If you are asking my why, just I can say only one thing: my family. Yeah, my family is everything for me. So I would like to just spend more family time, and along with that, I love traveling. So that was my second option. And when I entered in the business, I just noticed that early retirement is an option. So I have seen so many of my colleagues were in early retirement plans. So that too now become one more point. And I just got some of the, like inquiries like, oh, and then when I am speaking with them, they are telling, I have some problems now. So let me think and let me finish all these problems and I'll come to you later. So I just would like to tell to all of my friends only one thing: this is the right time. So if you want to finish all your problems and just start a business, no words to say that. And I'm a nurse and reaching 25 years of experience. So as my nurse colleagues said, I love nursing, I don't want to quit nursing, but I want a side hustle for my family, for my time freedom. That's it, Sharon.
Thank you so much, Sini. Yeah, that's so much possible. Where else we can find a platform with everything is included? Especially
Yes.
when you have that not that much time, you're looking for a proven platform. We call our platform as a business in a box. So all the researches, all the years that you could have wasted looking for those answers is already like in here. So all you have to do is plug in and start your business, right? Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Sini. So over to you, Rennie. Rennie, can you please introduce yourself and also please do let our audience know your story?
Okay. So this is Rennie Joseph from Texas, USA. I am actually right now also an RN, working in almost like 18 years, for the past 18 years in US. Um, my story is kind of little confusing and little different because I started seeing this online digital business almost 2 years ago when one of my friend introduced this to me, and I was so skeptical. I'm like, this is not real. Who will kind of earn this income so sudden, so fast. We all gain all these degrees, and with hard work, and and all on a sudden, like, so easy steps. She was explaining to me like easy steps of training, and then you gain this and you build your business. So I'm like, no, it's not true, because if it is that true, then anybody, any layman can do this, you know. So I was thinking like that. So I never entered into the business. I think I joined by, you know, paying like $149, and the webinar was not that, you know, attractive for me. And I was not actually interested. You know, if you don't have interest in your mind, whatever you see, it will not click into it. So you know, I did enjoy it. My life was very comfortable. Like, you know, I was working like an RN. My husband also an RN. I have 4 kids, beautiful home. So, you know, we leave that, you know, present, and, you know, didn't have feeling like, you know, I should join this business. Then I was not working overtime also, no extra shift or anything, just my regular work. And I was satisfied with, you know, whatever I have. Then last year, you know, the two, last year I was kind of went to some health issue, and that made me to stay at home like almost 8 9 months. And then you can imagine when you stay at home 8 9 months without any paid leave, and then no income, that time you realize that all these years I worked for an employer, and here I am when my critical illness or whatever you're going through, and you don't have any support, and, you know, no income. You just feel like, you know, you are nothing, you know. So I thought, no, this is not going to be, you know, it's not very unsafe for my future. And then I decided, look, I have to do something. And I can't think of overtime or extra shift because of my physical ailments. I'm day by day, my age is increasing, my experience is increasing. I can, you know, be good at work, but my body is not allowing me to work as usual when I was doing my 30s or 20s. So then one day I decided, I made up my mind, okay, I have to do. And, you know, I saw the success story actually right in front of me. My friend is succeeding. And so I went into the webinar again, and then convinced by the, you know, coach and the mentor. And I took that decision all on a sudden, one step. And then I decided, whatever happened, I'm going to stay in this business. There may be ups and downs, that but I learned the positivity and the consistency. And the amazing thing about this business is I can run this with my current job. I'm still working as an RN, and with pockets of time here and there, I'm kind of involved in the business. I'm still learning steps and training, but I'm very, very positive and hopeful. And not hopeful, I'm positive. Actually, I can do it, and I will do it. No matter what, I will do it. But I'm actually this all successful stories of people and this big community and the support that I get it, that make me to be in the business and be strong every single day, every single moment. So nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop me. That's all I can say. And anybody who is still, you know, listening to us and thinking that, well, is this the something that I want to go into it? If you have a strong why and you want to kind of, you know, retire early maybe, or you're going through the same physical ailments, or you want to have a second stream of business, you don't want to work overtime, you want to have a quality family time, where I'm enjoying doing this. I'm not doing any overtime anymore. And then I'm staying at home with my kids, enjoying the time, and then enjoying this business actually. Can you say that? Enjoying the business? I can say that. So that's all I have to say. Thank you. Thank you for.
Love this, Rani. Like, you know, I love the way that you said, you know, first time when you saw the webinar, it was not interesting, it was boring to you. And the second time, when the real need came up, you felt it was interesting and you were convinced by that, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
there's a saying, there is a saying, like, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? That is
Yes.
what I'm saying. Like, you know, when you have the real opportunity, when you have the real why, when you hit that wall, you know, your eyes will be opened. What you said was right. You were all the years you were comfortable, 18 years in US, working hard, not picking up extra shift, having good home, having stable family, never thought of a plan B until you hit that hard. And then you were realizing, oh my God, all these years I was working for somebody else. I was working for somebody else. Can you believe you spent like 18 years building someone else's dream? And tomorrow you have no, I mean, if you cannot go for work, no matter whether you're facing like serious illness, critical illness, chronic illness, will your employer be very kind enough to you to pay for lifetime? And also another thing I want to mention, Renee, like you said like your mentor convinced you. By the way, I am your mentor. I remember I never convinced you, because I remember I think almost that I actually came to you on that day on your anniversary. And on the way back, Rennie called me and said like, Sharon, I'm watching this for 2 years. I want to do it today. I want to start it today. And I said, okay, give me some time. I'm actually traveling back home. And that's how you started this business. I never convinced you. That is what I'm saying. Like, you're, when you have the real need, you will have our eyes open, right? So that is why we are saying, like, I was also the same, like, until I feel that, okay, I'm not going anywhere. And that is when I felt I was humble enough to open my eyes towards an opportunity. Right? Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful story. And also another thing I want to say, like, how she can run this business with the two kids together. Like, you saw the kids are actually playing around her, and she's still four kids now. I only saw two now. That's what I said. Right. And now she's still like, very happily doing this business with them. Which other business you can do? Can you take your four kids to grocery store? Thank you so much, Reni. So over to you, Seema. Can you please tell our audience your story?
Hi, Shireen, and hello, everyone. Firstly, I like to namaste to all. And as Shireen said, my name is Seema. I will tell you a little bit about myself. And I'm living in Ireland last 19 years. And I'm a wife, and I'm a mother of two teenager boys, 15 and 17, and I'm also a professional working in health sector more than 15 years, and I'm doing this business last 3 years. So I hear everybody's why to start this business, and they all are amazing. I what I was thinking in everybody listening their voice, because everybody life is beautiful, is going through everything well, but something comes hit you, the reality hit you, then you think, oh, I need something. So my journey as well, not anything different. My life as well, I'm here more than 19 years. Life was beautiful, everything going smoothly. I was working. My husband run his business. He have a takeaway restaurant. So everything was going good. On my off day, I go and help him, support him, and smoothly. Life is beautiful. Traveling every year to India, helping our elderly parents and in-laws, everything going smoothly. So one year, the day in 2022, that hit us very badly, and I never imagined that's going to be happen, because that's what I always say: life is unpredictable. We were in India in the beginning of the year, and we got a phone call from Ireland in India that there is a fire incident happen in my husband place. So I'm sure, like, we all, some people said we are living 15 years, 18 years, 20 years more than, like Thomas sir, he's living whole life in like USA. So imagine you're working hard money when you spend on something, and that will all fall down in one go, like, it's just like in a minutes, how that feeling is. And how that like, because on that thing it's dependent lots of people life. It's not only like my husband only, like her wife and the children. No, he have like his parents, my parents, then he have lots of staff, his family as well back home, because they all elderly parents, all hopes are to their children's, like, they're going to help us financially, emotionally, any other kind of. So that reality hit us very badly in 2022, and I was working that time. I can't believe that this happened to us, but the reality is very bad, or it's very dark. and I see like all of my family emotionally and financially in crisis. And I see my husband, like he works 6 days in a week, sometimes 7 days as well week. And a person who work all week and suddenly you sit at home, what this happened. So I do, like, the person who's all the time active suddenly full stop, and it's like everything is finished. So I see him, he became isolated and he became hopeless. And I see him, he break down. He is the, like, most strongest pillar in our families, like to support all the other family relative, his far relative as well. So this reality hit us very bad. And then we see the real picture of the life. If something happened with you, what do you have any option? Do you have any answers to your family, your children, whoever you are supporting? No, you don't have any. So that time I realize, I see him and I realize, we need something along with the job. And definitely to earn extra, I did definitely, like, being a health sector worker, of course, overtime, night shift, all those things. But you can't do that long terms, because that make me very bad person. Like, I'm get tired, easily get grumpy, tired. I don't want to talk anyone when I come home, because when I come home, if somebody talk to me, I get angry. So I just stop communicating to anyone. That's also not good. In your deep down in your heart, we all know what we are doing. And I realize myself what I am doing. I'm not a good mother at all, that stage. I'm not a good wife where I have to support him. I was lacking there. So then I said, badly, I need to look something. I'm not a person, like lots of people said, like we are non-technical person and not a social media person, no business like experience. My husband do his business, but I don't have any business experience. So this is not my cup of tea actually on the social media platform. And I've never imagined I'm going to do this business, and this is my third year I'm doing this business. So I was looking for something badly, and definitely I was praying to God, definitely I need something. And I was something, the ad, definitely people who's watching our ad now from different part of the world, one ad was keep coming front of me, and I'm ignoring that. And I always believe God very strongly. And I was thinking one stage, is that the ad God is showing me? Is that his way to show me for another opportunity? And I said, let's connect with the person, let's talk to her. I'm not going to lose anything. I just need some answers. Is that real? Like, as Shireen said, like, it's really like, if looking for is very beautiful, people are earning that much. But it's not a overnight rich scheme at all. I I reached so far in last 3 years, and definitely we learn lots of skills. We learn lots of from our failures, and it's not like that we not fail. Sometimes we do lots of mistake, but we have here mentor and coach who will guide us, who will help us. And the journey was not like all the time good. As Simi said, she lost her father, because that regret you have your whole life. So through this business, what feedback come to me, like last year my father as well diagnosed with the cancer. I'm so blessed. I got an opportunity. I bring my business in India and I stay with my father, because my father can't accept it like he have a cancer, because he's an army retired person. He's always very physically fit, always very, like, energetic, and he's very disciplined man. So in like nearly 10, 11 days, he was like in shock, like how this possible. So I stay there, I talk to him, and after that he just settled. And then I got that opportunity to sit with him and to talk to him in his very much difficult time. And then this last December, on 19th of December, my son, my eldest son, he had a fall and his knee get displaced, and he had a huge like surgery. And that time I was like without pay and I was with him because when my son need me. So in these two incident, you can see positive and negative. Positive, I can say, like, I got an opportunity to work from anywhere while I was spending time with my dad, while I was with my son to support him mentally, like, everything will be okay. And also you can see if a negative way, because it's a life, ups and downs always come. Like when I was breakdown, when I hear my father have a cancer, maybe I feel, oh no, I will leave everything and I will go to my father. So that leaving step is very quick. And when I see my son, I will say, oh no, my son need me. But believe me, people who always bring everything together, like, we have a family, we have a kids, we have a back family, we have lots of things, we have a jobs, we have a house chores, everything is there. But people who carry everything together and keep going and show the consistency every day, they will definitely successful in this business. So that's what I want to say to here, Sherin. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that was a beautiful answer that you mentioned. It was all about timing, right? So many people think that, okay, this is I don't have time to do this business. So that is what you have heard. Like, I mean, when you have a lot of things, we all have 24 hours, right? When we have a lot of things to do, you will become more efficient. You will organize yourself. You prioritize yourself. You will eliminate the unnecessary task, and that is how you become successful in this business, in the life, right? So that is exactly when you are very busy and you will be finding some time to do this business in between, you will become more organized. You will become more successful. You will create that side stream of income slowly and steadily. And then you can cut down your full-time work hours. And then you don't have to depend on your full-time job for your income, you know. And that is where we have to be clever thinking, okay, I cannot free my time. Not in 10 years, not in 20 years. Like every time you will be busy. Believe me, you will be busy. When kids are very small, you are one kind of busy. A little bit bigger, that's another kind of busy. You will always be busy. There is no perfect time, right? So thank you so much for explaining that, Seema. I'm so grateful and so happy to see that you were able to stay with your son and stay with your father when they need you the most. That's why we are saying, like, in this business, not only give you money, this will give you time. That's the most precious thing that you will never get back, right? So thank you so much. Over to you, Minnie. Can you please share a little bit about yourself to our audience? You're mute.
Hi, everybody. I'm Minnie. I'm talking from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So, as we all were talking about her story behind beginning this business, mine is also nothing different than anyone who already talked. But one thing is mine, the most important thing is burned out in my profession. And that is why I try to find something I can something in my life so that I can have, some kind of relaxation, because I'm presently working as a nurse practitioner, and I was a nurse for over 20 years. Back in India as well as here, and for the last 15 years I work as a NP now. So when I was working as a nurse, I was doing night shift when my kids were small. So uh, as we know, that night shift, picking extra shift, and adjusting all the things around that schedule, it's very hard, especially if you have to go to India or I still remember, I do night shift and the next day I travel, and all 3 days or 2 days in flight, and then when we go to India, like, we are so tired, we don't know where we are, and then when we come back after all those excursions and all those things back in India, and then very next day or even the same day we go back to work. That is how it was, and we have to beg to our managers for some, like, 2 week. We are only supposed to get 2 weeks of vacation, but we adjust that shift, and we get 3 weeks, and then it was like too much. So I did that for 10 years, and I burned out. And the place we work, sometimes it is so hard. I was working in a trauma level 3 trauma unit, and always, people coming after accident, and the neighborhood is not that great. So you can expect all kind of violence and gunshot, all those things were coming in, and it is not at all a peaceful place, peaceful time for me to work. So I thought, okay, I can do something else. So I prayed, and God opened a way to go for further study. So I did NP along with my full-time job. That wasn't easy either with small kids. Anyway, I completed that, did my board, and started as an NP. So initially I was working in a retail clinic, only 3.5 days, and I have a couple of days off. But then that I had to move job from there to another clinic. So now I'm working 5 days a week. So the routine, some of the things changed, but again, I'm getting burned out again, because 5 days I had to leave early, 7 in the morning, coming back in the evening, no other, not much time for anything else, and so tired, and again, I'm not in my 20s or 30s, and, my body is also getting tired. So all these things, made me to think, this is not, I won't be able to do this for another up to 10-15 years, or until 67. So I have to do something, and I cannot cut down my hours, or I cannot do these things at this point, because there are a lot of bills coming, and so many things. My kids are going into college. I cannot, cutting my hours or working less is not going to help those responsibilities I have. So that is how I came to know about this business. And I saw this ad. I was seeing this for a year. I wasn't thinking to start, or I wasn't thinking to find out what it is. But at a point came, I said, I can't do this anymore. So that's how I talked to, or discussed about the business opportunity. And then, I came to know all the potential and how I can do it along with my busy schedule, sitting at my home. Like today also, I just came back from work and I'm doing my business now, doing the live. So all these benefits I found out, and that's how I started. And now I'm successfully running it. And my plan for my future is, as can make full-time to part-time, or some early retirement, some saving for the future. Those are my future plans. So if anyone of you who are watching us, or able to watch in the next coming days, or you are thinking like us, or you are looking for an opportunity, again, you can reach out to us or any one of us, and just find out what it exactly is. We all said the same story. We were skeptical in the beginning. We didn't know what it is. It's hard to believe that there is something out in the social media like this. So, but once we came to know, once we learned it, once we, understood how it works, then that is the time we took the decision to get into or step into this platform. So if you are in any of these stages of thinking or planning, or want to talk to someone, any of this, you can take the next step and find out what exactly is. And again, it is not for everybody, but there are people, we said, over a global community. A lot of people we have successful stories, and you can watch into that and make your decision, take your decision, and it is really worth checking it out. Thank you. Over to you, Sharon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Minnie. So what you have heard just is not Minnie's story. You heard about an immigrant mom story, right? We all did all these things, and we still think that starting an online business is hard. Seriously? We do like night shift, day shift, going all day long with until 65 years, 67 years, 70 years. with no rest, with no holidays, with no time, with hurting knees, hurting back, we still run. And why do you think online business is hard? It's not. Okay? So thinking is for you. We are leaving this thought with you. So if you guys want anything, anywhere you are in a stage in your life, okay, which hard I want to pick, this hard or that hard. So take your decision and contact any of us today, and we will be giving you more information. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.